Let's take a look on an article about self awareness and why it's so important. This is the Firm and Fair podcast. I'm your host, Spencer, and we have work to do. Let's get to it. All right, so this article is from BetterUp, and the question is, what is self awareness and why is it so important? Do you want to be happier, have more influence, be a better decision maker, and be a more effective leader? Self awareness, then, is the most important muscle you need to develop. This is exactly what I'm speaking about for the most part. We need to become more self aware as individuals so that we can make better decisions and be more influential around people in a more positive aspect. We can step into their shoes and our shoes all at the same time. Continuing on the article. It's what will keep you on target to be the best version of yourself and the best leader you can be. What is self awareness? Psychologists Shelley Duvall and Robert Wicklund proposed this definition. Self awareness is the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, and emotions do or don't align with your internal standards. If you're highly self aware, such as me, you can objectively evaluate yourself, manage your emotions, align your behavior with your values, and understand correctly how others perceive you. Yes, that's exactly what I've been harping on this whole time. That's the basis of the Firm and Fair podcast. Self-awareness and emotional responsibility. Emotional responsibility will, of course, be a separate video. But put simply, those who are highly self-aware can interpret their actions, feelings, and thoughts objectively. It's a rare skill, hence why I do believe might be my calling to make other people self-aware, to start this journey with you, because I didn't just pop out of nowhere and become self-aware. I had to step into it. So as many of us spiral into emotion-driven interpretations of our circumstances, developing self-awareness is important because it allows leaders to assess their growth and effectiveness and change course when necessary. Yeah, that is definitely what I'm speaking about. All right, let's get off this questionnaire. So there are two states of self-awareness, and there's public and private. Yeah, I've been big on that. So I'm not even going to read just yet. I'm going to tell you what my interpretation of this is. For me, public self-awareness is me being able to interpret how my actions can make someone feel or not feel, before I even do anything. And then also be able to interpret their actions based upon the social situation. Privately, self-awareness, I've been doing this since 2020. I'll take 30 minutes every single day just to lay in complete darkness and ask myself questions, introspective questions, where I have to be honest with myself and just not lie, because why lie to yourself? And I've learned so much about myself that way as well, too. Let's continue. So, public self-awareness, being aware of how we can appear to others. Because of this consciousness, we are more likely to adhere to social norms and behave in ways that are socially acceptable. While there are benefits to this type of awareness, there is also the danger of tipping into self-consciousness. Those who are especially high in this trait may spend too much time worrying about what others think of them. Others think of them. I used to ruminate as well too. I used to spend too much time and, go back on a social situation and say, hey, could I have done something better? Was that the best social interaction I could have had? And, I used to spend too much time. I don't do that as much now, due to, being as confident as I am, but I do spend some time thinking about that. Private self-awareness, being able to notice and reflect on one's internal state. Just like I said, those who have private self-awareness are introspective, approaching their feelings and reactions with curiosity. Yeah, sometimes you just do things and you just don't know why you did it. And being able to ask yourself questions about that and being honest always goes a long way. For example, you may notice yourself tensing up as you're preparing for an important meeting. Noticing the physical sensations and correctly attributing them to your anxiety about the meeting will be an example of private self-awareness. When self-awareness tips into self-consciousness, we are reluctant to share certain aspects of ourselves. We develop a persona that lacks authenticity. So, why is self-awareness important? The Eurogroup has researched the nature of self-awareness. Their research indicates that when we look inward, we can clarify our values, thoughts, feelings, behaviors, strengths, and weaknesses. Oh yeah. I've learned so much about myself. Like I said before, do you know your PMV as a man, your principles, your ethics, your morals, and your values? They're only getting stronger every single day as I think more and more about them. So, Urich's research finds that people with self-awareness are happier and have better relationships. Come on now. I know I'm onto something. Look, stick with the kid, all right? I'm onto something. I'm onto something. They also experience a sense of personal and social control as well as higher job satisfaction. Oh, yeah. When we look outward, we understand how people view us. Yes. People who are aware of how people see them are more likely to be empathetic to people with different perspectives. If you know me on Facebook, you know what my name is. My name is Spencer the Empathizer. That has never been a lie. I've always been able to empathize with people because I'm able to kind of step into their shoes and see exactly how they see me. Now, leaders whose self-perception matches others' perceptions are more likely to empower, include, and recognize others. Oh, yeah. So here's some of the benefits of self-awareness. It gives us the power to influence outcomes. Yes. It helps us to become better decision makers. It gives us more self-confidence. So as a result, we communicate with clarity and intention. Oh, yeah. I can have like full simulated conversations in my head before I even speak a word to someone. And also, there's a philosophy that I've created years ago where, like, I become indecisive. And I ask this one question: what are my options? And then once I start asking that question, what are my options? Well, I can do this, I can do that. Then I can start making better decisions based upon what those options are. Continuing, it allows us to understand things from multiple perspectives. It frees us from our assumptions and biases. It helps us build better relationships. It gives us a greater ability to regulate our emotions. It decreases stress. Oh yeah, big time. It makes us happiness. It makes us happier. So, what's the self-awareness gap? Self-awareness is a staple in contemporary leadership jargon. Although many leaders will brag about how self-aware they are, only 10 to 15% of the population fit the criteria. Many of us grew up with the message that you should not show your emotions, so we attempt to ignore or suppress them. With negative emotions, that doesn't go very well for us. We either internalize them, resulting in anger, resentment, depression, and resignation, or we externalize them and blame, discount, or bully others. A lack of self-awareness can be a significant handicap in leadership. A study conducted by Adam D. Galinsky and colleagues at Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management found that often, as executives climbed the corporate ladder, they became more self-assured and confident. On the downside, they tend to become more self-absorbed and less likely to consider the perspective of others. All right, that's enough for that. So, like I was saying from before, it's going to be a long start to the journey of being self-aware, but hopefully this article jumpstarts your curiosity. Trust me, like I said before, self-awareness and emotional responsibility will be the salvation towards any relationship that you have. It kind of frees you of so many different aspects of not worrying about what other people are saying, but staying focused on what's important. That's between what's going on between you and your partner. But self-awareness can also be used in other aspects of life as well too. I apply it every single where. When I'm at the gym, when I go to work, when I'm actually out and traveling, I'm self-aware. I'm actually spatially aware too, which is kind of more important due to I'm in a densely populated city such as New York. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Look, give me the 3 freebies: like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can always email me at thespencerperspective@gmail.com. I'm your host for the Firm and Fit podcast, and I'm out.